Hello, the name is still Toski Brown. I'm about Python in Chi. In this tutorial, I'm going to take you through data types and variables. Okay, so when we talk about variables, variables cry a thing. Because variables are a name that acts as a reference or label for storing data in a computer's memory. The person change and say a name be acting as a reference and as a label na store data in the computer's memory. To continue with this now, let me create a new file. Let me show example. Send a better simple. Okay, so now let me create a new file with the name data types or variables. Let me do it variables rather. .py. Now press on the enter key. Now create it. So I said, when we talk about variable, a name acts as a reference and as a label for storing data in the computer's memory. So in Python, if I want to create a variable, it's simple. The first thing I was going to say, I'll just give a name to that variable. So I'll say, if I want to store, let's say, a variable for, let's say, a name, I'll say name. Then, now me the equal to my backspace. Now me the equal to aba. Now me the name. No, that is the value, the specific value. Now me person me assign my name. No, then I'll say Emmanuel. Okay. When we talk about a variable, name now becomes a variable. Wherever we see name no, we mean Emmanuel. So because a print name, you see say Emmanuel instead of name. Okay, so here I have stored Emmanuel in the computer's memory. So whenever I need Emmanuel I will say name. Send a Emmanuel ebeba. My memory ne. So now you can see say Emmanuel abeto has say inti sana variable etie. Let me give you another example. So let's say I want to store a number in the computer's memory. See, I want to store 10 in the computer's memory. I will say number. Okay, now equal to aba. Then I will say 10. Okay. It is a make us a 10. Then I will print number. See, my board number no asha hasi. Enti baby a number no I want to represent 10. Enti me print number ubon say 10 ena ebeba. Enti on say 10 aba instead of number na me de share hono. Okay. So here my mesanye ba control. Enti I will say number underscore 2. Okay, it's number 5. We print number plus number 2. Number where I represented 10. And number 2 where I represented 5. And so I print number plus 2. I remember 15 instead of number 2. Because in the computer's memory, number we represented 10, number 2 represented 5. And so I run I go say, "Ebe answer 15." On say okay, that is how variables work in Python. Okay, and then in Python we have data types. When we talk about data types, defining the type of data that a variable can hold. Into that specific data na a variable will be holding. You will be a type I say variable it's me holding. Okay, into let me take you through. So over in mathematics now, there were integers. and your whole numbers. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to go through no a integer data type. When we talk about the integer data type now, a whole number without a fractional component, and I say without a decimal component. So here, if I want to say a is equal to 10, now then 10 a whole number into a integer. Okay, so when we talk about integer, our Python it means a whole number that can be positive or negative. So I can say -10 still na a integer. So let me transform my negative for still na a whole number. Okay, now that is an integer. And talk about the float with the floating point number, and also for decimals. So if I want to store a decimal and so on, I can use the floating point number. So whenever you hear float behind a chair decimal, so when I say b is equal to 2.34, this becomes a decimal. Okay, so when we talk about a floating point number, it represents real numbers with decimal points used for fractional and decimal values. Okay, so what does represent fractional and decimal values are? You can use the float. And then we have a string. We have a string. With a string, the string also represents sequence of characters that is enclosed in a single or double or triple quotation marks. Okay, so for instance, if I say name is equal to Samuel, okay, sorry, this is not how we spell Samuel. Samuel, like this. Okay, now this one becomes a string because it's in a double quotation mark. And as me pencil, I make me just share single quotation marks. Still na a string. Into characters we are in a single or double quotation mark like this, a string. And I said triple quotation marks like this, 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry, 1, 2 as I can. Still na a string. Okay, so that is a string for you. And then we also have boolean. Okay, so the boolean also represents one of two values. Okay, one of two values. You know, we talk about boolean simply means true or false. Okay, so when I say is user is equal to true, okay, is user is equal to true. Okay, and I say it can be false. So the boolean simply means true or false values. Also, I can syntax once in one of the videos. Syntax no for the boolean no, when you're writing the false now, the F should be capital, and true no, so the T should also be what? Capital. In the subsequent videos no, I'll teach you something about the naming conventions in Python. In Python, whenever you are giving or whenever you are naming a variable, and variable no, it contains two words to separate them no, you should use underscore. Okay, you can't write a variable. Let's say I want to use this variable is user no, it's user, then I'll say is user is equal to true. Sorry, true. Say it's wrong. You can't leave a space for the name of a variable. To leave a space, you should use underscore instead. But what's matter here? So basically, this is how data types and variables work in Python. Thank you for watching this video. Please, if you like this video, comment and then also subscribe and like this video. Please put us on post notification. And me say WhatsApp group no, wow person will join in. Just send me hi on 0559 334835. I will screen here see. But you will me and send me hi and I'm a home. Even if I post a video, I'll drop the link. Send it by even go with my action or a home. That's so hey. See you in the next video.